So I've just been watching this week's Prime Minister's Questions, watching all these hypocrites with their ever larger poppies nailed to their chests. Couldn't give a fuck about the troops, in truth. All performative bullshit at this time of year. The nauseating hypocrisy is off the scale by this rancid reactionary establishment. And it's even outdid itself than more than normal with the rhetoric on immigration, competing both the leader of the opposition, Sir Keir Starmer, and the recently coronated unelected Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to see who can be harder on migrants. This is at a time we've just had a bigot attacking a migrant centre, whipped up by Islamophobic hate. Suella Braverman describing the issue of migrants crossing the channel on boats as an invasion, castigating and demonising Albanian men in particular. You just can't make it up. We've got this fish-faced cunt Nigel Farage, cock a hoop with self-congratulation, claiming that he's been vindicated for taking a stand on this issue for many years when others were too scared to, and now he's praising Suella Braverman for having the courage to follow his line on this issue. This is meant to distract and deflect from the real enemy, and that's the people who are calling migrants your enemy. The cunts are responsible for the food banks, the underinvestment in public services, the housing crisis, the spike in energy prices, the spike in prices in the supermarket, the cost of living crisis, child poverty, pensioner poverty, homelessness. These are the cunts responsible for upholding a system responsible for all that shite that we have to deal with on a daily basis. But instead, they want you to focus your attention on poor people crossing a channel in boats, risking their lives in the process. Anybody who has a gumption to put themselves through that is not somebody that should be maligned. It's somebody who should be praised because they've got gumption, they've got courage, they've got the spirit that can get things done. But no, it's about demonising migrants because this is playing to their Brexit base of unreconstructed bigots and racists and knuckle-dragging fucking xenophobes. So this is where we are, and it's not looking good. It's looking increasingly debased, our political culture, and it's resulting in more and more divisive language, divisive rhetoric, and cruelty being presented to us as the new virtue and compassion, the new vice. And in Prime Minister's Questions time today, Rishi Sunak took aim at Keir Starmer over his support when he was the Brexit minister, shadow minister of Jeremy Corbyn's attempt to become Prime Minister. This is what happens, Mr Starmer, when you pledge to be the Corbyn continuity candidate when you stood for leader of the Labour Party in 2019 after Corbyn resigned, and then promptly resile on that and go after them with the vigour of a newly converted member of the anti-socialist pack that dominates our political culture. They're scared of Corbyn, not for anything bad that he represents, but for everything good, for the social and economic justice that underpinned his vision for the country, for his intent to, if elected Prime Minister, to declare peace rather than war on the world, to push the verities of diplomacy rather than conflict when it comes to foreign policy, to look anew at our vile and cancerous relationship with the Saudis, our support for Israeli apartheid against the Palestinians, and our unthinking, unconditional alliance with Washington, regardless of where it may lead us, such as Iraq in 2003, for a crime for which no one responsible has yet to be held accountable. This is the fucking shit show that's been dredged up to us as the best of all fucking possible worlds. It would make you sick if you had to eat it. So it's now increasingly unpalatable, the politics that hold sway in the UK. Each day, each minute of each day, it makes a case stronger for Scottish independence, for Irish unity, and for an end to this sinking ship of fools, otherwise known as Brexit. Britain. Take it easy. Peace out.